Hello and welcome to Horror Rewind. This is Kelly Florence,
And I'm Meg Hofdahl.
and today we're talking about all things horror and what we've been watching. Meg, it has been so much fun because obviously we're spoiled, and for our job, for our work as horror writers, part of our research is we have to watch horror movies.
I know, it's like, sorry, this is for work.
Yeah,
This is why I have to watch a horror movie at 2 in the afternoon. I'm sorry.
I know. It's like I'm living the dream. Like, can you imagine telling your fifth grade self
No,
that you get to do this?
no. I mean, that was the dream that was like, well, that's never gonna happen.
I
Like,
know.
what if I had a job where I could watch horror movies and write about it?
I know. And also, like, that's literally what I wanted to do at 2 in the afternoon in fifth grade, but I wasn't
Yeah,
allowed because
I
I had to like be in
know.
school.
I know. So we beat the system.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
and we should probably say up top, this is going to be a spoiler-free episode, right? Because
yeah.
we're just going to talk generally about movies we've seen to make sure that you all aren't spoiled, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Spoiler free. And so I had a day the other day when I'm like, you know what? I'm literally going to lay down and watch horror movies because I got all my work done. I got everything on the to-do
Yes.
list done. And like I said, we still need to be watching horror. And so I watched Psycho Goreman, which had been highly recommended to me, and I watched Army of the Dead, which is also in theaters now, but it's on Netflix.
All right. So
And
I
I,
haven't seen either of those.
yeah, and so I'm just quick spoiler free. Army of the Dead, I wasn't sure, and we talked about it on the podcast previously. Like we're like, I
Yeah.
don't know, like we weren't sure. It was so much fun. There's so much gore.
Yeah.
It was unexpected. There's so many great women, female characters. Notaro, who ended up being green screened in, like, holy crap, it was amazing.
Oh, cool.
And you
That's
wouldn't be
good
able,
because I can't imagine how they like do that,
it was brilliant. And you couldn't, I mean, not when you know, then you're just like, whoa. But if you didn't know, it would be like, okay, what, there's nothing
Yeah.
happening here. Let's just say there's a zombie tiger, and that's not a spoiler. It's Siegfried and Roy's tiger, and he's a
Oh,
zombie, and it's all in Vegas. Meg, it is
yes.
so much fun.
Okay, I'll definitely watch that because I mean, obviously, I love zombies. And I love Dawn of the Dead that Zack Snyder did.
Yep. And P.S.
So
They're different kinds of zombies too. They're not George
okay,
Romero zombies. And
so
so
it's not in
that's
that
kind of fun
universe.
too.
Yeah, yeah, that is fun. Okay, I'm excited for that. I'm definitely gonna watch that.
And then Psycho Gorman, I was like, what is this about? And our friend Nate said, just so you know, the little girl character reminds me of your daughter. And I'm like, oh boy, what is this going to be? But it's friggin' hilarious. And I realize that she's kind of problematic, and that's whatever. But I think
Well,
Anna might be too, because she's very sassy. And
oh yeah.
if she found a monster that she could have, in the backyard,
Mhm.
she'd probably keep it too. That's all
Oh,
I'm
I think
saying.
so. Yeah. No, that sounds like me.
It is, I will say this. It is probably not everybody's cup of tea because it's out there with premise, but oh my God, Meg, there are these creatures. We talked about ghoulies a few weeks ago. There are these creatures that are so funny and cute, and they're like, it's all practical effects. And there's this thing where like this gory thing is happening, and one of the creatures like covers the eyes of another creature. And I'm like,
Oh,
I love it so much.
oh, that's cute.
And like they name this creature Psycho Gorman, and it's
Uh-huh.
hilarious. And there's a musical number,
Oh
and
my.
there's like slow motion, and he wears different outfits. Like, it
Oh,
is so frigging adorable.
so here's a question. Like, would kids like it? Or is it too gory?
You know, to be honest, when I was watching it, I wasn't even thinking about it like from
Yeah.
that perspective. So I mean, I'm don't show it to your kids after I say this, friends. Do your own research, but I think it's probably okay because it is teaching a really wholesome, pure message. And there definitely is a lot of gore, though. I mean, you see
Okay.
a dude's skull get, and his
Oh,
eyeball, and
okay.
then his mouth is like, thank you. It's really, it's funny. It's really funny.
Okay. Okay. All right.
These all
Well,
sound like
interesting.
spoilers, but I'm not
Because
giving away.
as you were describing, I'm like, oh, maybe Dexter would like that. But Dexter is more into like, as he is apt to tell you, he's more into psychological horror. So
Yeah, no, this is not that.
okay.
But the I love the girl, like she totally does remind me of V. And the parent characters are really funny. Like they have
Mm-hmm.
really funny, clever dialogue, and it's unexpected. The whole thing was very unexpected. So and
Cool.
go in though knowing not everybody's gonna love it, not everybody's
Okay.
gonna
It's
like it.
unique.
But haven't you heard that about it though? It's kind of polarizing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, which like I always say, I'd rather watch a movie that's polarizing than meh, where people
Mhm.
are just like all in the middle of the road about it, you know?
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, give it a chance, friends, if you don't mind something a little bit cheesy, a lot a bit gory, and definitely unique.
Interesting.
Now tell me what you've been watching.
Well, a lot of things. So last night I watched Escape Room because I know that the sequel is coming out. And this is the 2019 one. I think there's been a couple like with the same name. Have you seen it?
Yes, and Campbell and I recorded on it when it came out back then.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so this was my first time seeing it, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really clever and fun. I love a strangers all put together and having to like work together. I really like that concept. And then slowly they're like, revealing all their backstories and I thought the rooms were really clever and it had kind of almost a surreal feeling sometimes. And yeah, I thought it was really fun. I'm not going to spoil anything because I said no spoilers, but I think it definitely was just a good fun time and it's not gory. Like I think kids could watch it. I Dexter seemed kind of curious about it. So how did Campbell like it?
Yeah, he liked it a lot, and we too. And if you want to hear our review on it, you can go back and find that episode. But it was like again a good time, and it
Yeah, it's
also
just
had
fun.
like some good messages and things.
Yeah, yeah. So I thought that was good. And so I might watch it with Dexter. Because like I said, I won't have to be like worried the whole time about having to cover his eyes for anything. It was scary, but it wasn't gory. And what else? Oh, I really want to recommend the Shudder movie, The Power. It really kind of caught me off guard. I just started it. I was like, why not? And it takes place, I think, in the 1970s in the UK. And apparently, there was historically at that time, there was something going on where they were having rolling blackouts in London. So this is a nurse who has to work on this ward in the hospital when all the lights are off and they only have like generators going. So it's a good starting off point, but it's super feminist and just the title alone is, a hint that it's not just the power, of course, that they're talking about, but it's the power that she has to fight against. And it's really it's scary and unexpected and just feminist AF. And it's written and directed by a woman, and I really, really recommend it. I really enjoyed it. And it was just poignant and like you feel all the emotions throughout it. So
Okay, that's
watch it.
awesome.
Yes. And what else?
Now, have you read any horror books lately?
Oh well, of course.
Obviously.
Obviously. Where do I begin?
Give us
I don't
your top picks.
Oh my gosh. Well, I read he just won two Bram Stokers, so it's not like he needs any more of a boost. But Stephen Graham Jones is amazing, and I have read both things that he won the Bram Stoker for, and I've talked about The Only Good Indians, but also Night of the Mannequins is, oh my gosh, it's so psychological and amazing. It's a novella, so it's not very long. And then I read Mongrels by him, which is a werewolf novel, and it was epic. And
Oh,
it's about this boy who is native and he's growing up and his family are werewolves, but he's not sure if he's going to become one, and it's kind of not happening. And oh my gosh, and it's so much about native life, but also cool ass werewolves. And what else have I been reading? Well, I always love Keelan Patrick Burke. He's amazing. Um, and I just read a book by him called Master of the Moors, which is a period book. And oh, it's kind of, well, they're not really werewolves, but there's creatures similar. So I guess I'm kind of going down that road for some reason.
nice.
Have you watched any werewolf movies lately?
We saw Werewolves Within, but check out our episode for that. No spoilers.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I've read so many books and now like I blank out when I'm like I don't know, I've read a lot of horror books. You guys, you all, I'm trying not to say guys, you friends, as Kelly says,
Yeah.
friends need to make sure that you're following my Instagram and my Twitter, because I always like to post what books I'm reading on there,
Yes.
and I won't be an old forgetful granny like I am right now.
No, it's fair. And it's also like if somebody puts me on the spot and they're like, name your top five, whatever, I'm like, I've forgotten everything that I ever knew, like I don't remember anything. So
I know. Yeah. No, I'm the worst with that.
we're in the thick of it. We're in the thick of summer, and we hope that you are getting time to have those beach reads, whether it's an actual beach read or a horror read at the beach, and going to the movie theater. Like, we're back, baby.
I know. It's so nice. But also it's nice to keep streaming things at home too.
Yeah,
So
you do you.
yep, you do you. That's for sure. And there's so much good horror out there. What else have we watched, Kelly?
I mean, I don't even know. See, you put me on the spot. I don't know if I don't have it written down. Listen, we've been going through a Bates Motel rewatch, which it's
Oh
my
yeah.
rewatch, but Mark and Campbell are watching for the first time. There's also a movie that came out a while ago now called I Care a Lot.
Oh yeah, you told me to watch that and I still haven't watched it yet.
That's really good. I recommend that. And there's things that I need to get caught up on because I've been watching so many
I
witch
know.
movies for our witchcraft book that I'm behind on other things.
I know. I watched a movie called Don't Knock Twice for the Witch Book. Um, I would recommend. It's not a perfect movie, but I enjoyed it. And I watched a movie called Dead and Buried from the 80s. That was kind of fun. And it ended up, I was just watching it, but then it ended up having witches in it. And I was like, yes.
Woo!
So
I love when that happens.
I know. I've been watching a lot of Shudder lately. I just feel like, well, if it's on Shudder, then I'm gonna like it, right? So really they should be paying us as spokespeople at this point, I think.
Watch everything.
Yeah.
Listen, friends, recommend movies to us because it's just like life in general. It's hard sometimes to wade through everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we need those recommendations. So don't be afraid to add us and tell us what to watch and recommend because, that's always helpful.
Yeah, it is. It really is because, and then sometimes, what movie was that I was reading about yesterday, and like it was a tweet, and somebody, oh, it was Army of the Dead, and somebody was like, yeah, I enjoyed it. It was fun, and then literally the next person, on my whatever, was like, it's awful and blah blah blah, and it's like sometimes you can get so many different opinions, but it's nice to just have a recommendation, check it out, and because there are a lot of movies out there that aren't even worth checking out,
Yeah.
but it's nice to have a little recommendation.
And, to be fair, and that's what we're going to continue to do on this podcast, we're not going to lie and say we love every movie, but not every movie is for us. Not every movie is for
Yeah,
everybody. And that's okay. We can have different opinions.
and we tend not to bring up the movies we didn't like
Yeah.
because first, especially if they're indie movies, it's not, we don't want to go poop on somebody's work.
No.
I'm probably a lot more likely to do that if it's like a big huge Hollywood movie that, you know but not everything is for everybody, like you say, and it's not our business to come on and talk about things we hated. So
No, I don't just don't think that that's helpful in any way.
no, I agree. Bring positivity into the world, even in our little dark horror world.
Yes. Our little dark gothic hearts.
Yes.
Okay. Recommend stuff to us, friends. Follow us on our socials. And until next time, we'll see you in the horror section.
Bye.